All right, so 2026, I really want you to focus on two words specifically. Get ready. You are going to have so much change. And I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, Diana, change. This is going to be too much. But it's an exciting time for us. The first thing that's really going to impact all of our organizations the most is, of course, AI. It's not even an option anymore. It's how quickly can I jump into this and how can I utilize it effectively for my team? Myself here at My HR Pros, we are investing money right now to train people, to train organizations and their employees on how to be more effective with AI, how to use it in their systems. Because it's not about if, at this point, it's about when. And one question that I want to ask yourself, if right now you're really hesitant to move forward with your organization to utilizing AI, if you have that fear of that moment, I want you to reflect back on what happened when the first ever smartphone came out, what happened when the first computer came out. For the good or the bad of it, we had to make those changes or we would get left behind. So if you don't start making those changes here in 2026, where is your organization going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? I want you to not fall behind, but instead jump in with the rest of us and let's figure out how to make this work. And I know it's very intimidating. It's a lot. I am one of those people in the Train the Trainer programs to learn AI, and it is mind-boggling just how much you can use AI for in your organization. So you're not alone. There's definitely resources. You can even contact My HR Pros and we can set up a training and get you going with that too. So you have options. You have the ability of making those connections. And if you don't want to pay money for it, go on YouTube, go on the different platforms. There are so many resources out there that help you dive in and learn AI and get excited about it and seeing how you can use it in your organization. I also understand that there are some concerns. One of the biggest phrases right now that I'm hearing right now is FOBO. And FOBO means fear of being obsolete. And there's a lot of employees right now that are having that FOBO. They are incredibly terrified that AI is replacing them. And we've seen mass layoffs. We've seen the things that are happening where AI really is making things very efficient. I look at it as an opportunity of how much more could I grow without having to hire additional bodies because I'm utilizing AI to help me be more efficient, to help me be more effective. It's about forward progression. It's about forward growth. And I want you to hang on to your team members for a bit because I want to tell you, one of the things that I'm also finding is that 80% or a little over 80% of your high performing employees are actually people that you promoted within your company. Not so much the ones that you hired externally. The ones that you're promoting up within, that you're actually encouraging them to either reskill or upskill, which is two other words that I think you need to think about for 2026, because that's another big push right now. Everybody is becoming very skill focused. It's not so much the degree that you have or the certifications that you have. It's more of a skills-based model of what skills can you offer to my company to help me be more successful in 2026. So we need to start thinking about, okay, how can I upskill my current team that I have? And you have to think about meeting them where they are at and building them up. So before you just go off and replace everybody with AI, I want you to realize that you have the opportunity to also upskill them and reskill them and keep your over 80% high performers because you want them. And at the end of the day, AI doesn't replace the human element. Think about AI operations, but human-led. You still have to have a human element to input in the information. So if you're one of those employees that's watching this right now and you're like, oh my gosh, Diana, I haven't even touched any of the AI platforms because I'm absolutely intimidated by it, or you're still mad at it and you're afraid that it's going to replace you, that you want nothing to do with it. If you're in that bucket right now, I want to encourage you to change that thought process. I want to encourage you to put yourself in that very fearful and vulnerable position and jumping in with AI, because I don't want you to fall behind. Organizations are now looking for people that can utilize AI. They're looking for those experts. Don't fall behind, jump in. I have team members that are closer to retirement age than they are from the beginning entry age, and they are jumping in. And it is incredibly terrifying because you're having to rethink things. But think about what you went through with the smartphones. And if you happen to be old enough, think about what you went through with a new first ever computer. That change is inevitable. It's here. So jump in so you don't end up getting left behind, because nobody deserves to get left behind. So that's the big push for 2026 when it comes to AI. I also talked about the reskilling and the upskilling. I want you to consider the fact that now more than ever, it is about the employee experience. We always think about our clients' experience and what our clients need and what our clients want to feel. Your employees care way more about what their onboarding experience was like, about how their interactions with their team are, their beginning process from beginning to end. That employee experience is so incredibly important to them. And if you're still not doing the mobile type focus, that's not really an option anymore. It's now just an absolute given. Employees are expecting to be able to do things at their fingertips now. So if you're still living in the world of paper, you're getting further and further left behind. So I want to encourage you to start taking the steps to move forward and progress, because your company deserves to be in business 5 years from now, 10 years from now. It is your legacy. Allow it to grow and don't risk the chance of it not growing. So I want to encourage you to definitely move forward with more of an employee experience mindset of how can my employees have everything at their fingertips, whether that's outsourcing, whether that's adding the additional costs for certain applications. There's a big push for AI HR focused applications. You really want to start thinking about these things to help your company grow, or outsourcing to companies like mine with My HR Pros, and that can give you some efficiencies right off the bat. So when you're talking about employee experience, I'm also going to kind of mention the whole aspect of hybrid schedules. I know that we had a lot of transition in 2025 where more and more organizations were bringing their employees back into the workforce. Right now, the average amount of days that employees are required to work in office is 3 days a week. So they are now back in office at least 3 days a week out of the 5 or however many that you have yours set up for. One thing to take from that, more and more organizations are also becoming more structured versus the flexibility of it. The structure of it is coming back, especially for 2026. The expectations, what they're requiring of those employees, that's a big focus right now for anybody that is in a flex position like that. And that's just making sure, again, skills. You are making sure that those people are following through on their skills, are doing what they need to do. And a lot of employers are thinking that in office is more effective than at home work. And I know we could debate back and forth on that one, and everybody has their opinions. And please don't take this as my absolute definition of how this goes, because you could always argue either side. And I could agree with either side. So I'm going to tell you, situation kind of dictates in that situation. So you've got to do what's going to work best for your organization and best for the individual that's either working 100% remote or doing that flex position. It really is a case-by-case basis. So just figure out what works best for you. And if everybody is happy, satisfied, and you have high level capacity of performance, don't rock the boat, I guess is what I'd say on that one, and just stay consistent with what's working for you. If it's not working, then that's when you would reevaluate and reconsider and see, okay, what do we need to do now? So the employee experience also means that you're going to have to really pay attention to your leadership. When you think about, for me, HR positions, a lot of times historically it's been, okay, I have a person that's in recruiting, I have a person that's in payroll, I have a person that's dealing with just state regulations. It was very siloed and very divided out. I'm seeing a trend where those positions are kind of becoming one. Either organizations are outsourcing more and more for their HR services, or I'm seeing that they're centralizing that down to one position who is wearing more hats. than ever before. And a lot of that is because of the efficiencies that come with AI. You can narrow down. Somebody could do more because maybe your recruiting process is all AI. Maybe your performance evaluations and all of this stuff is AI. So it kind of depends on how you're structuring, but I'm seeing that those positions are becoming more centralized. With that, making sure you have the right leaders in the right position is even more critical, especially since employees are wanting that employee experience. One thing to note that I would think about with this is shifting from leaders who are more knowledgeable of everything, like you have a leader that just seems to know it all. That was important at one point. Now so much, you need a leader that's going to make the best decision. You need somebody who's going to react the right way, somebody who's going to make those proper choices versus, oh yeah, I know it. Okay, I appreciate that you know it, but what do you do with that knowledge? What's your action? And sometimes this is not an immediate thing that your leadership is going to do, especially if it's a new manager coming into that position that hasn't been tried, hasn't been tested, hasn't been put in those really sensitive, awkward positions. One of the trainings that I do for leaders is scenario-based training. I actually love saying, hey, you have this employee in this situation, how would you handle it? You're testing them to see how they would handle those situations, what type of decision they would make in those moments, instead of waiting for them to figure it out in real life, which could have penalties if they don't handle it appropriately. So continuing to educate your team is going to be critical. Leadership training, encouraging that growth, communication strategies, conflict resolution strategies, all of these things become very important in 2026 because people don't care that you know it all because they can ask AI. So they don't care about that anymore. They care about the interaction, they care about the relationship, and they care about how well you can resolve those conflict situations in a positive way. That's what they care about. So when you're thinking of 26, get ready because it's coming and it's going to rock our world. And your change agents for your organizations, or if you have a change manager or an HR person that's a part of your change team, they're going to have to be ready because change is coming and it's coming fast, way faster than we thought. So get ready.